Would you risk your own life to save someone else? Could you love and forgive those who have done you harm? Would you be able to show your best side to the most sadistic and bad men? And imagine, are you still hated for that? Who do these things remind you of? Yes, we could talk about Jesus Christ, clearly, but today we're going to talk a little about Promised Neverland. Promised Neverland is a Japanese manga series written by Kaiju Shirai and illustrated by Pasuka Demazu. It was serialized in Shueisha's weekly Shonen Jump magazine from August 2016 to June 2020, with its chapters being compiled into 20 tankobon volumes. The story takes place in an orphanage called Gracefield House, where the orphans are cared for by Mother Isabella. The main protagonists, Emma, Norman, and Ray, discover a disturbing secret about the orphanage and make plans to escape. The plot is full of mysteries, twists, and tension, exploring themes such as survival, freedom, and morality. For those who haven't seen it, I would like to give a spoiler warning and say that this anime has one of the best first episodes I've ever seen in my life. Just watch. The manga received critical acclaim and gained a dedicated fan base for its engaging narrative and well-developed characters. Furthermore, it was adapted into an anime series, which was also well received. Emma, one of the main characters in The Promised Neverland, is an example of innocence and kindness in a dark and challenging environment. Your compassionate nature and dedication to others reflect values that resonate with the teachings of Jesus Christ. Emma's concern for the well-being of others and her willingness to sacrifice her own safety for the sake of others echo the principle of love for others taught by Jesus. She is willing to risk her life to save her friends from the dark fate that awaits them at the orphanage, demonstrating deep compassion and a commitment to the care and protection of the vulnerable. Her determination and willingness to save her friends shows some of this characteristic of character. Furthermore, Emma exemplifies confidence and hope even in the face of desperate situations. Her determination to find a way out of the terrible reality in which she lives, and her belief that it is possible to achieve freedom and a better future, reflect the message of hope and faith preached by Jesus. Even when faced with seemingly insurmountable obstacles, Emma maintains her faith in the possibility of a brighter future and in the ability to overcome adversity with love and unity. Emma's attitude of not giving up in the face of difficulties and her willingness to forgive and seek redemption are also essential Christian values. She does not allow herself to be consumed by hatred or revenge, but seeks reconciliation and transformation, always seeking the best for everyone, including those who hurt her. Which of you, having 100 sheep and losing one of them, does not leave the 99 in the field and go after the lost sheep until he finds it? Luke 15 verse 4. The story of the anime The Promised Neverland can be compared to the parable of the 100 sheep taught by Jesus, where a shepherd leaves his 99 sheep safe in the flock to go in search of the only one that was lost. This parable, found in the Gospels, highlights the immense value that God places on each individual and his willingness to seek and save those who have strayed from the right path. Similarly, in The Promised Neverland, Emma and her friends are confronted with the terrible truth about the Gracefield House orphanage and decide to escape this corrupt system. When Emma makes the decision to leave no child behind and strives to save them all, she is embodying the spirit of the parable of the 100 sheep. Like the shepherd in the parable, Emma demonstrates genuine love and concern for each individual, even in the face of the challenges and dangers she faces. Her determination to find a solution that allows freedom and safety for all reflects divine care to seek and rescue those who are lost. While Emma and her friends face adversity and danger on their journey, they do not give up on their mission to save every child in the orphanage, showing a persistence and commitment that echoes the perseverance of the shepherd in the parable. They are willing to take risks and sacrifice their own security on behalf of those who need help, thus reflecting the message of love and service taught by Jesus. Emma's story in The Promised Neverland reminds us of the priceless value of each life and the importance of never giving up searching for those who are lost. Just as the shepherd in the parable rejoices when he finds his lost sheep, Emma and her friends find hope and redemption as they fight to save those in need of rescuing. Despite her valid justifications for not returning, Emma's choice to return to the orphanage to save the other children highlights her deep compassion and courage. This heroic act reflects a commitment to the greater good and a rejection of selfishness. First, commitment to justice. Emma has always believed that everyone deserves the chance to live free. His decision to return symbolizes an unwavering commitment to justice and equality, regardless of the personal risks. Secondly, leadership and inspiration. By choosing to return, Emma demonstrates remarkable leadership qualities. She inspires others to follow her example of selflessness and courage, showing that true leadership is rooted in service and sacrifice for others. Finally, fundamental human values. Emma's decision reflects fundamental human values such as empathy, love, and sacrifice. She chooses to put the well-being of others above her own, exemplifying the essence of what it means to be human in its noblest sense. Choosing not to return would have undoubtedly been the easier choice for Emma. However, her great character manifests itself precisely in the difficult and dangerous choice she makes. Her decision to return to the orphanage to save the other children not only reflects the essence of her indomitable and compassionate spirit, but also offers a powerful lesson about the value of sacrifice and loving others. Emma teaches us that in a world full of difficult choices, true courage lies in doing what's right, even when it's easier to take a different path. Her journey is an inspiring reminder that despite challenges and dangers, it is possible to illuminate the darkness with acts of kindness and compassion. Emma's decision in The Promised Neverland to want to save the monsters is an extraordinary testament to her empathy, compassion, and commitment to justice. This choice is deeply significant, as it defies conventional logic of survival and revenge and reflects a level of humanity that transcends barriers of species and apparent enemies. When Emma discovers the truth about the orphanage and the monsters, she could easily see these beings as implacable enemies and choose to fight only for the survival of humans. However, instead of succumbing to hatred and revenge, at the end of the manga, Emma decides to seek a solution that can bring peace to both humans and demons. This desire to save even those who are considered natural enemies is a powerful reflection of her values and principles. Emma understands that her enemies, like humans, are trapped in a cycle of survival dictated by a biological need to consume humans to maintain their intelligence and form. Instead of dehumanizing demons and seeing them as just monsters, she recognizes their complexity and the tragedy of their existence. This recognition of humanity within otherness is a profound act of empathy. She sees demons as victims of circumstance, in the same way that she and her friends are victims of the cruel system that created them. In trying to save the monsters, Emma demonstrates a compassion that goes beyond the desire to protect just her own kind. Her decision reflects a belief in redemption and the possibility of peaceful coexistence. This attitude recalls Jesus' teachings about loving your enemies and doing good to those who persecute you. In Matthew 5 verse 44, Jesus says, "But I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you." Emma, through her actions, exemplifies this principle by trying to find a solution that can benefit both humans and demons. Furthermore, Emma sees saving the monsters as a way to break the cycle of hatred and violence that perpetuates suffering on both sides. She believes that true peace can only be achieved if all parties involved find a way to coexist. This vision of Emma is a call for reconciliation and bridge building between different species, an act of moral courage that challenges the us versus them mentality. Emma's journey to save the monsters also inspires those around her. Her determination to seek a peaceful solution encourages her friends and allies to look beyond the obvious and consider alternatives that could bring lasting peace. Emma's leadership is a transformative force that challenges prejudices and promotes a more inclusive and compassionate view of the world. Emma's decision to want to save the monsters in The Promised Neverland is a powerful testament to her empathy, compassion, and commitment to justice. She shows us that true courage is not just fighting enemies, but seeking peace and reconciliation, even when it seems impossible. Her choice to save the demons is an inspiring example of how kindness and humanity can prevail, even in the darkest environments, and reminds us of the importance of seeing the humanity in others, regardless of differences and conflicts. Emma embodies many of the core values of Christianity, such as love for others, hope, faith, compassion, and forgiveness. Her actions and attitudes inspire others around her and resonate with the principles taught by Jesus, showing that even in the darkest environments, the light of kindness and innocence can shine and make a difference. If you like the content and want to help us continue, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment or suggestion about a book, film, series, anime that you want to see analyzed on the channel.